What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is your brother Chief Kalanago with another video. Give me 1 second. Let me just cue myself. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. Hope everybody's doing good, man. I hope you're enjoying the information. And, listen, man, I'm not just doing things because I'm bored. I'm giving y'all information so y'all know what's going on, all right? So don't take this for granted, all right? Because my time is very, very precious, okay? But I feel a need to put that information out there now. This video, again, might be a little bit borderline, all right? Like I said before, I have 2 YouTube strikes, but, they're not going to be talking about these things on the news. So I'm going to bring you the information, all right? It's for educational purposes. So once again, YouTube, do what you feel you need to do. I don't care, okay? So I'm going to continue to exercise my First Amendment right. All right, so that's what I'm doing, all right? So here we are, okay? By no means am I no medical expert. I'm just giving you the information. So the information is here, all right? So I'm going to share my screen because, like I said, there are certain things they will not talk about in the news because they have to keep people distracted. They don't want you to know what's going on. And all of a sudden, you just find yourself, you're subjected to all these rules, all right? Rules that are made by people with big businesses. And that's to me, that's what it's all about. So I'm going to get right into this. I'm not even going to waste time. But first off, I like to acknowledge the great spirit, universal intelligence, the great I am, universal source. I want to give thanks to my ancestors for guiding and protecting me and always just, opening up my insight. All right. So I'm able to, see what's going on. All right. And I know that any weapons formed against me shall not prosper. So I'm going to continue to do what I do. I fear no man. All right. Because in my opinion, and not just opinion, it's a fact that death doesn't exist. It's all about life. So never confuse who you truly are to be the physical being, because that's what promotes the fear. You feel me? Is the physical being, is the conscious mind of everything that's around you. All right. It makes you fearful of what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you taste. When the truth of the matter is that's not the true you. So once again, anybody who knows, they come to my platform. We don't do the hell low. I'm not sending nobody to hell. Don't want anybody to send me to hell. So no disrespect. We say grand rising. We say greetings. All right. We say hi. All right. Just listen to what you're saying. Imagine if you run into the street, you don't know somebody, and all of a sudden you say, hey, go to hell. How would that sound? But it's the same thing you're saying when you say hello. It is 2 low vibrational words, hell and low. All right. So maybe you didn't know. So just letting you know, over here, we say hi, we say greetings, we say grand rising, and we just try to use high vibrational words when we greet each other. All right. So just wanted to share that. And I'm saying that with all much love. Okay. So let us get into this article real quick. Let me share this with y'all. But greetings to you, my sister, Evita. Greetings to you. All right. No, it's okay. It's all right. Greetings to you as well. All right. Just wanted you to know. So, you could pass on the knowledge. So it's okay. No need for apologies, because truly is about what we accept. All right. What we internalize. So I never internalize those low vibrational greetings. So it's okay. All right. So let us go to, okay. And do a little bit of reading. That link is in the description, just so y'all know. I just don't like to do things, and I make an attempt to provide as much resources as I can so you're able to do your own research. Okay, so this is from pritz.pr.gov/VACU/ID. All right, so //VACU space ID. This is in the technology section. Innovations and technology, and right now it's a little over 1 million people, all right, that have the VACU ID. It was issued to over 1 million people. Now, how many? And that was just updated within the past 20. Updates every 24 hours. Okay, so a lot of you may be oblivious to what's going on because so many people are caught up in distractions or just don't know where to find the information. So the information come to me, all right, and I give thanks to all those that are playing their part. It is just so once again imperative that we all play our part. But this is an app, okay? So It is called, concerning the VACU ID, all right, it is called the Cisco Digital App, okay? And of course, people could access that from the Play Store, the Google Store, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so it's saying to access the VACU ID is necessary to download the Cisco digital application to your smartphone through the platform of the App Store, iPhones, etc., etc. Okay, now I'm not here to promote this. That's not what this is about. I'm just here to educate you what these people are doing and what they're bringing to the people. Okay, so here we are. Global VACU ID Phase 4. Okay, that was launched launch day November 18th, 2021. How many of you knew about that? Maybe you didn't, but if you didn't, well, guess what? Now you know, right? Global, and this is global, okay? Global VACU ID. What is the global? Let me just make that a little bigger. Pardon me. What is the global VACU ID? The global VACU ID is a secure digital copy of what? Your COVID-19 vaccination record, which uses the VCI / Smart Health Card standard. This version of the VACU ID is compatible with those jurisdictions or entities that use this electronic validation method for the registration of their vaccination. Now, they have jurisdictions or entities. All right, so let's click on that to see what comes up. Okay, let me see if I have to stop sharing my screen and share it again. Okay, let us go here. Let me see if that's going to come up, or maybe I have to stop sharing my screen and go ahead and share it again. Let me see. Give me 1 second to see if that's going to populate. If not, I would have to stop sharing the screen and then go back. All right, so I have to stop sharing the screen. Okay, and greetings, beloved, greetings. Okay, so I have to stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to share the new screen that just populated. Okay, and once again, my beloved brothers and sisters, people of the world, I'm doing this for educational purposes because the major news networks are not going to talk about that. Before you know it, it's a law, it's a rule, it's a statute, and they're forcing that on you. Okay, so it is really up to the people, okay, to do what they have to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you the information, and you do what you want to do with your life. Okay, me personally, I'm not a willing participant. All right, I'm not for people violating my rights. Now we at a site called VCI.org. Okay, you have the VCI issuers of smart health cards. Okay, so we're talking about now the jurisdiction, and we are talking about entities, right? The following organizations are issuers of smart health cards. Please see their documentation for more information. A smart health card stores healthcare information and other vital medical data. Smart health cards provide a platform to improve privacy and security of patient information, make medical records portable, reduce healthcare fraud. The types of issuers permitted in VCI directory are limited to the following: clinical health systems and hospitals providing patient care, national and regional pharmacy chains, national and regional laboratory diagnostic providers, national and regional health insurance payors, and government and governmental agencies. For more information, you have the types of VCI directory issuers, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, U.S. states and territories, okay, where that they already have the VACU ID, and it's one of the territories. Okay, you have U.S. states and territories. You have California, you have Colorado, you have Hawaii, Louisiana, New Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, Utah, Virginia, and Washington. I'm going to repeat that. Okay, where they have already been using, and the jurisdictions, if they're not using it yet, but it will be in place. And I promise you, they're going to make that a mandate. Open up your mind and see what's going on. All right. You have the U.S. states and territories. You have California, Colorado, Hawaii, Louisiana, New Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, Utah, Virginia, and Washington. And remember, people of the world, my brothers and sisters, this is about business. Okay. You have other organizations. All right. You have Adventist Health, Advocate Aurora Health, Alaska Tribal Health System, Allegheny Health Network. It's a whole list. I'm not going to read everything. As you could see, that information is there. You have the link. You click on it and go through everything yourself. But as you can see, it's a lot of Baptist Health. I mean, a lot of churches involved. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know. Now, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to get into the bashing of churches. Y'all already know how I feel about that, right? But the church has always been one of those places where it's a trap house, okay? But you could see, scroll down, all those organizations, territories, and agencies are literally pushing this VACU ID, okay? All those things is already set up in place. For those of you who don't know and think this is a game, okay? So here we are. You got that. Now let me stop sharing my screen and go to the previous slide. I'm also going to take that link and then put that in the chat for y'all, the one I just read from. Put that in here. And we are going to go into the previous screen to continue where we left off, okay? Here we are. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. So let's proceed. So we looked at the jurisdictions and entities, okay? I did put that list in the chat for you as well. So this version of the VACU ID is compatible with those jurisdictions. I name a list of them so far, all right, that use this electronic validation method for the registration of the vaccination. All right, now, important. You do not need to go through any additional process, okay? If you already have your VACU ID, the global VACU ID will be automatically available in the options, all right? And here we have them again. The following jurisdictions are smart health cards to validate vaccination. You have California, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Utah, Louisiana, Virginia, New Jersey, New York, and Washington, all right? Validate smart health cards. The Cisco digital app has the ability to scan and validate digital vaccination cards using Smart. To go scan the QR code, a health card Smart, ask the person to show the QR code from the platform where available from your Smart health card. Use the Cisco digital application to scan and validate. If the QR code validates correctly, the screen will show the name of the person confirming that they are vaccinated. If you do not validate correctly, you will get an invalid message. All right. Steps to access your global VACU ID. Number one, to access your global VACU ID, press the three dots at the top right of the screen that shows your VACU ID. And we're talking about from your from your app store, okay? The global VACU ID section will appear in the option 2. The global VACU ID displays your name, date of birth, information, dose, and a code QR for other jurisdictions. Using the Smart Health Card can validate your vaccination, okay? And they're giving you examples that you could see on your different smartphones, all right? Step 1A, press the three dots for options. Step 1B, choose the global VACU ID option. Step 2, show the QR code of your global VACU ID. Note, you can see the details of each vaccine. How to add VACU ID of relatives in Cisco Digital. All right, phase 3. Okay, that was launched October 20th, 2021. How come the news ain't telling you about that? All right. In order to add the VACU ID of your family members, you must have access to Cisco Digital through a driver's license, an identification or a license plate registered in your name. So what that means, okay? So what that means, essentially, even if you have the VACU ID, all right, they will be able to get your license plate number and scan your plate to know if that driver is vaccinated. My brothers and sisters, y'all have no idea what type of world you are stepping into because you refuse to step up and stand up against tyranny or your rights. But a lot of you may think, oh, well, this is good. Yeah, go ahead and think that. You feel me? But I'm going to read that again, okay? In order to add the VACU ID of your family members, you must what? You must have access to the Cisco Digital what? Through what? Your driver's license. That's a contract, okay? Man, listen, man. I don't want to say too much because I already know what YouTube gonna come with me at. All right. Okay. So I'm not even gonna, say some things to really push the envelope. All right, because I still have a lot more information I got to bring, and it would be pointless to be just careless. But at the same time, I'm not going to stop talking. All right, I'm not going to stop bringing the information. This is public information. So once again, I'm practicing my First Amendment right. Okay, for free press. Okay, so and news reporting. That's what I'm doing. All right. So with that being said, okay, in order to add the VACU ID of your family members, you must have access to Cisco Digital through driver's license and identification, or what? A license plate registered in your name, okay? Because everybody's giving up everything that they own through all these registrations, but I'm going to leave that alone, okay? You will not be able to what? Add VACU IDs that are registered on other phones. 1, select the add person option to the Cisco Digital configuration section. Number 2, enter the necessary information from the person you wanted to, or you wanted. I'm certainly sure that's a misspelling right there, to your section VACU ID. Number 3, enter the information of the vaccine administered for the person to be added. Number 4, verify the summary information, confirm that the information entered is correct. All right, and they're giving you examples of what you got to do. Everything, whether the configuration part, they have it in Spanish. It looked like they have it in French, whatever the case may be. But they're giving you all the information, the name of the vaccine, etc., 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 information to put just in case you would like to, take a part in this whole crazy mess. Okay. Number 5, take and confirm your photo of the person requesting to add to your VACU ID. According to confirming your photo, the system will validate all information received with the data recorded in the Department of Health. Once the system validates your data with the health department, you will receive a notification confirming your VACU ID has been successfully validated. Number 7, by accessing your VACU ID, you can see the people added by pressing the VACU ID photo. To activate someone else's VACU ID, you will need to press the person's photo and press select. All right. So with this app, okay, you're able to maybe see somebody's picture, if they're in the system, press, and you'll be able to see their photo ID and see if they're vaccinated as well. All right. So it's some things coming down the pipeline. All right. Just so y'all know. So you could see they're showing the examples of what it would look like when you press on somebody's picture or their profile. And just like when you go to Facebook, you're able to see somebody's profile, their birthday, their information, whatever that's there. You'll be able to see their stats or their statistics, not necessarily statistics, but their updates on whether they are vaccinated or not. All right. So, you'll see their information basically. All right. Now, people over 12 years old who do not have a license, real ID, or official DTAP identification. That's phase 2. And phase 2 was launched in September. Like I said, it was a succession of different, steps to make this thing happen. So this was September 14th, 2021. All right. So number 1, press where it says VACU ID on the initial screen of the Cisco Digital application. Number 2, enter your personal information in the boxes required to validate. All right. It is important that you review this information carefully to make sure it is all correct. Number 3, enter your vaccine series information, including the manufacturer and the dates as required. Okay. So you have Cisco, you have VACU ID. You're going to put in that information. And like I said, all right, as you could see for the, let me just show you the one all the way to the left, to my left in the green section. This is the Cisco Digital. So that's the one they're going to use for the license plate or the plate number. So that will show up right there. So like I told you before, okay, so if you're traveling or you're driving, whatever you want to call it, okay, a police officer, whoever could look at your plate, put your plate in the system and know that if you are vaccinated, because that's going to be on your plates. All right. Number 4, once you have entered your vaccination data, the application will ask you to take a frontal photo of your face. This photo is necessary to be able to process your VACU ID as well as being a secure method to identify that you are the person assigned to that validation. You can confirm or retake your photo before continuing. 5, finally, the application will ask you to create access code to protect your account. This will be confirmed again to complete the process. Number 6, once the system validates your data with the health department, you will receive notification confirming that your VACU ID has been successfully validated. You can access it by entering the VACU ID section and entering your access code. Okay, they're going to give you a 4-digit code, a PIN that you could enter. Some of them you could do it through facial recognition. All right, it's really up to you whichever way. If you subscribe to that, okay, or you acquiesce to that, then you do what they do. Now, steps to request your VACU ID. That was phase 1. That was launched in August 11, 2021. How come you're not hearing about that on the news? But you're hearing everything else about the distractions, right? But like I said, y'all could stay distracted if you want. All right, number 1, if you have already used the Cisco digital application before, you only have to log in with your account to start the validation process of the VACU ID. If you are using the application for the first time, enter your license your license plate number, the last 4 digits of your social security number, and your date of birth on the initial screen to access your account. If y'all think this is a game, all right? So I'm not saying this part of what I'm saying right now. I'm not saying that this will happen, but I'm just thinking it might go there, okay? If you're not willing to do that, then you will not get a plate number or a driver's license, which in the first place you don't need. But that's a whole different story. But people want to stay asleep and they want to stay in a coma and just be subjected to these things. That's on you. But like I said, I'm not going to say too much because, you know, I still need the platform to give y'all some more information, but it is what it is, right? All these things, licenses, all that stuff is optional, just so y'all know, okay? But the people, the masses want to stay asleep, so I could only play my part. Number 2, upon accessing your account, a screen will appear confirming your intention to request again, it's a request, okay? Intention to request the VACU ID, okay? It's a contract, but people don't realize that because people think they don't have a choice, okay? Press the button that says yes. Okay, so what if I want to say no? You feel me? Remember, everything is a choice. But because people live their life based on fear, they think they don't have a choice and they have to be subjected to for their rights being violated. Okay, if this screen does not appear, go to the settings configuration of your application, and there you will find a section with a button that reads VACU ID. Slide the button to turn it green. Once activated, the process will begin again. Number 3, once you press yes, you will be on the screen where you will fill in the information regarding the vaccine you received as the dates of the first and second doses respectively. Accept the terms and conditions and then press continue. Once again, why do you think it's a contract? Why do you think it's a contract? Because you have to accept the terms and conditions. Everything that you do, remember, we are living in a contractual world. This is all about commerce, but you think you don't have a choice. Like I told you before, can anybody force you to go to Walmart? Can anybody force you to go to Costco's? No. But you think you don't have a choice. And that's why we're dealing with what we're dealing with. And it's unfortunate that people such as myself, we have to deal with this because of the people that are asleep and refuse to stand up. You feel me? But once again, accept the terms and conditions and press continue. But you have a choice not to accept it, but you do you, right? Number 4, if all your data is correct, the system will validate all the information received with the data registered with the Department of Health, okay? And you have the credentials, you know, all that information, and then requests in process, okay? And then do you want to request your credential? Yes, no, the terms and conditions, disclaimer, blah, 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 blah. Make sure most people they don't read terms and conditions. They don't read the disclaimers. They just blindly, like sheep again, okay, accept, and then they start complaining once it's done. All right. Now, number 5, once the system validates your data with the health department, you will receive notification confirming that your VACU ID has been successfully validated. You can find this message once it is available in the notifications section of the Cisco Digital application in the bell icon in the upper right corner. Okay, VACU ID confirmado. Su información para la VACU ID fue verificada estosamente. Okay, whatever that means in Spanish, I could read it, but I may not be able to tell you what it is. Now, where to find your VACU ID? There are 3 different areas within the Cisco Digital application where you can access your VACU ID once it has been validated. Immediately upon the application, you will see the option to select the VACU ID at the top of the security section or the security screen, pardon me. Number 2, on the main screen of the application, you will find a card titled VACU ID with a blue shield. This is the information panel section. Number 3, the third option is found in the main menu of the application in the upper right part. Okay, and they're showing you examples of that. Boom. And then how to scan a VACU ID. In order to scan the QR code of the VACU ID, it is necessary to do so through the Cisco Digital application. Ask the person to show their VACU ID from the Cisco Digital app on their smartphone. Do not accept photos or screenshots. In the VACU ID, you can see the name of the person and their photo. For security reasons, you must ensure that the graphic in the background of the screen behind the photo is animated. In addition, the VACU ID clock should indicate the correct time and the seconds should be moving. Number 1, select the scan. That is just how to scan and validate and blah, 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 blah. That link is in the description, so I don't have to necessarily read that. What I don't want to, okay? And you have the frequently asked questions. Number 1, I don't remember my PIN. I entered that I got vaccinated. I have a license from Puerto Rico, but I got vaccinated in the US. Can I do that? More of that. The system indicates that I did not find my vaccine series. I don't have a driver's license, but if I have a DTaP ID, can I request my VACU ID? Which they say, yes, you can. Can I have more than one? How can I save my VACU? Can I continue to use city vaccination card? They never have a question is, what if I don't? You know what I'm saying? So you see, everything, once again, man, is just about, in my opinion, it is all optional, but for the most part, people refuse to stand up, okay? And that's why you are subjected to these things. Somebody asked, can I get the link? The link is in the description, okay? The link is in the description. So that's that. Okay, and I hope you found some value in that. For those of you who want to take this for granted, man, listen, it's up to you. For those of you who just want to think, hey, you know what, it's business as usual, it's up to you. For those of you who think, hey, you know what, as long as I could live my life, I'm good, then it's up to you. But for those of us who are going to stand for our rights, then we're going to continue to do that. All right, it's really that simple. Okay, so those are contracts, and nobody could force you should not force you to do anything. It is up to you to acquiesce and be subjected to what they're pushing on you, telling you that it is law. It is not law. Okay, those are rules that are being made. Okay, and the masses are they're just going along like the sheep that they are. All right, so once again, I'm just sharing that information with you. You do what you want with the information. It's strictly for educational purposes. I may or may not do another video, but if I do, then you will get the notification. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe now. Hit the notification bell so when I do a live, you will get that information. May the great spirit continue to guide you, protect you. May the ancestors do the same for those of us that are standing up for our rights, for our inherent rights. May the ancestors continue to help us and keep us and protect us from these evil people. All right, we'll talk soon. Take care.